Yes. Well, you made me want to buy a central midfielder, please. Russ on the West Ham Network. Hope you're all safe and well. If you're new in here, you know what to do. Been a busy day on the network. I succumbed to peer pressure and did my player ratings from the Sunderland game utilising the Finalysis app. You might see me on Sky Sports this morning as well, having a chat with Charlie Austin about West Ham's plight. We'll try and put a clip of that up on the channel and on our socials later on. Yeah. Anywho, it's the Hammers Headlines in association with the KUMB.com boys. We'll be doing the Academy show live, hopefully, a bit earlier than 5 o'clock. So keep an eye on the channel and we'll put it up when we're ready to roll. But we're doing it live from Rush Green because the under-21s take on Nottingham Forest under-21s at Rush Green. 7 o'clock kickoff, £5 for adults, £1 for children, and free for season ticket holders. Get your ass down there and support the boys as they kick off their PL2 season against Nottingham Forest under-21s. But don't forget to check out neesandmybrown.com for latest news, reviews, and opinions as well, particularly as we enter in the last 12 days or so of the transfer window, and it is hotting up. Let's talk about someone who probably, well, we still don't know what's going to happen in terms of Lucas Paqueta, but Baroness Brady yesterday on TalkSport did an interview with Sean Custard and I can't remember, was it Henry Winter? I think it was Henry Winter as well. Sean Custard and Henry Winter, and Anton's going to do a bit of a rant about that later on. You know, he's not angry; he's angry about that, so he'll talk about that. But one of the things that was brought up was discussions about Lucas Paqueta, and spoken about him as a player, and in terms of more likely, will he still be in a West Ham shirt? And what was interesting was that the club, you know, in terms of Lady Brady, sorry, Baroness Brady, my apologies, she was pretty adamant that Lucas isn't going anywhere. Lucas wants to stay at the club. She said we want him to stay at the club. Now, I think a massive pinch of salt is given, or not a pinch of salt, a massive caveat is placed on that, because obviously British Mana put that nonsense tweet out on Friday. He then doubled down into another tweet to say that Lucas is happy at the club. You know, he has had proposals and that type of thing. I think it's a halfway house. I think Lucas is happy. Lucas is not pushing for a move. That's the way I see it. He's not pushing for a move. However, if an offer between 50 to 60 million pounds comes in, I think that's a different description. That's a different, avenue to take. Will that happen though? I don't think it will. Realistically, you look at the guys who are going to have that on the hip to spend. I think probably in order of availability of funds, Saudi Pro League. If Saudi Pro League coming with 50, 60 million quid, they've got it to spend. Neon was fucking buying everyone at the moment. So that could be an option, possibly. Man City, will they want to spend 50 odd million on a 27, 28-year-old now? He's 28, isn't he? I think so. I don't know if they would, in all honesty. They could probably invest that money better on a younger model, so to speak. A bit like what Chelsea have done, buying, and we did to some extent with Louis Guilherme, but he's 27. He turns 28 next week, in a couple of weeks' time. So for me, I just can't see any movement there. There could be an outside choice, and that's why I don't think it will happen. Eze to Spurs, Crystal Palace. Now, I'm not saying they'll all buy it at all, but in terms of the guys who need a number 10, we know Crystal Palace need a number 10. But would they spend that money on someone like that? Literally will probably be the money that comes in for us. It will go straight out. So I can't see that happening from there. But as I said, Baroness Brady says he'll be going nowhere this summer. Whether that changes in January, World Cup year as well. He's already in the World Cup team, but we'll see. Come January, you have a lot of the Brazilian sides tend to buy their bigger players then, rather than sort of midway through their season. That we'll see in the closed season in Brazil. Who knows? But it does seem, according to what we've been led to believe, according to that interview on TalkSport, which Anton's going to talk about from quite a lot in a minute, that he's staying. I think he wants to stay, and he definitely wants to stay. So the thing is, he is staying. That's what she says. We shall see. Now, obviously, midfield. So it's fucking midfielder. And another name that's come all back round is Bissouma from Spurs. According to reports, West Ham are said to be closely monitoring, rather than just monitoring. They're closely monitoring. So probably just, make the focus on the camera and the goggles a bit stronger. About Bissouma, who is believed to want to leave before the transfer window shuts. And that's according to Saskia Tovioli of Sky Sports Switzerland. He says that he's a player that West Ham are keeping an eye on. The Mali international has been at Spurs since 2022, missed the Super Cup as punishment by Thomas Frank for turning up late to training, and his subsequent absence from the squad against Burnley has sparked rumours of a potential fallout with Frank and Bissouma. He wants to stay in England, apparently, something that West Ham obviously could offer him to do. He's 28, though, but, would come in and, in my eyes, sit alongside whoever the CDM is, whether it is Guerrero Rodriguez or more preferably Freddie Potts, and you've got someone who could provide something different in midfield. Obviously, Potter, it would be some sort of a reunion with him, Brighton days. But 28, I think it all comes down to the value, isn't it? For me, is there you don't want to be paying over the odds, but it's quite clear we need someone in that midfield. And I think, unfortunately, everyone we turn up, we approach, we'll know that's the case, and have got to, pull our pants down for that. I know there was, I think one of the things coming out of that interview with Baroness Brady yesterday was we were on the floor, basically, we're up against it with PSR and stuff like that. But part of me thinks, you're always going to say that? You're not going to say, we are loaded. We've got money coming out of our back. We are in a really good financial position. Because when if you pick up the phone to Daniel Levy and try and get Bissouma, it will add on 10 million quid on top, So I think a lot of that is smoke and mirrors. Anyway, but that's just me personally. Now, what we try and do on the Mondays, we do the loan watch. We concentrate on players in the first team squad who are gone out on loan. Obviously, only one has gone out on loan at the moment. For the Academy show later on, we'll go through the likes of Michael Forbes and Mason Terry and Gideon Kidoa and that type of stuff. But it was only one, which is Caelan Casey, who followed up fresh from his start for Swansea in their cup win against Crawley Town. I think he played the first 78 minutes or so. Good run out for him. He was unfortunately an unused substitute on Saturday as Swansea beat Sheffield United 1-0 at home. So obviously be looking to get some more game time. I think they've got a round of games it's on Tuesday. I want to say I think they've got a round of football on Tuesday. Let me just check quickly. Because there is an opportunity there to obviously Swansea City. No, they don't. Ignore me. Next Tuesday. See you next Tuesday. They play another home game against Watford at 12:30 kickoff. So that'll be on Sky probably. So hopefully you'll get some minutes there. And that's it, my friends. Don't forget to check out kneesupmybrand.com for latest news, reviews, and opinions. Don't forget to check out our Thomas Repka interview we put out yesterday. Don't forget to check out our Academy show later on. Don't forget to check out Anton's rant later on as well, which I'm sure will be get the popcorn ready for that one. And also don't forget to check out kneesupmybrand.com for latest news, reviews, and opinions. If you like what we do, don't forget to like, comment, share, all that good stuff. We have had a ton of new subscribers, so thank you so much for joining us. If you want to become a channel member, hit the button down there. We gave away a load of gifted memberships. They'll be entered into the monthly draws for some player signed memorabilia, and I'll probably see you later on at Rush Green, and then we'll do a little round out video of the game against Nottingham Forest tonight. Much love. Bye. Bye.